You know how you got born?
No.
We had a date.
What?
And then you started growing inside mommy's tummy.
We had a bunch of dates.
Well, yeah. On a date, though. Well, yes, we did have 4 dates in one day, I think, that one time.
Okay, let's just chill a little bit.
Hey guys, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Monday, February 8th, and we're ready to get started. It's going to be a very busy day. You can probably expect 3 to 4 videos today because we have so much to talk about. There was a lot of things that happened over the weekend, and we need to discuss one because it involves Jill and Derick Dillard and their progressive date. So we know that Derick and Jill Dillard really like to talk about their love life, and they have been very open on their social media, sharing all kinds of things that they do to spice things up. Remember when they had their anniversary a couple years ago and they shared a book about Kama Sutra, and literally everyone lost their mind because it's not biblical? Yes. These two have never really shied away, let's just say, about talking about how they like to, get busy. Then there was that blog. Remember that blog where they talked about how to have a successful marriage, and they talked about how many times per week you need to do it, like 3 to 4 according to Jill and 5 to 6 according to Derick. Yes, that was the blog on their website. Well, yesterday or a couple days ago, they did a progressive date, and the date was actually kind of a cute idea. They drove around, they got takeout, and then they ate in the car with their kids in the back seat. Brave. And they promoted this app. I'm guessing it might have been a sponsored post, and they answered questions. So how the date starts off is they go to their favorite coffee shop and they grabbed drinks, which they both picked up chai lattes. And then after they had their drinks, they went on over and swung on over to where? Wellington's, which is the restaurant which is owned by Dylan King, Amy Duggar's husband. At Wellington's, they picked up a charcuterie board where they had a variety of cheeses and spreads, and Derick called prosciutto wrapped cheese ham wrapped cigars.
In your car. But yes, I did the just the classic charcuterie board with the meat, cheese, and bread, olives, and all the delicious toppings.
Yum.
Like, and they even have little ham rolls. And
They're still fundies, so they don't always know the fancy names for things, but Derick, it's called prosciutto. After they had their charcuterie board, they went and grabbed a salad at a Greek restaurant. So they were driving around Springdale, they went to Fayetteville, and they were showing some of their subscribers or their fans some of their favorite restaurants. Now, while they were actually eating their salad, they started talking about, dates, and randomly Derick asks his son, like, do you know how you were born?
you know how you got born?
No.
We had a date.
What?
And then you started growing inside mommy's tummy.
We had a bunch of dates.
Well, yeah. On a date, though. Well, yes, we did have 4 dates in one day, I think, that one time.
Okay, let's just chill a little bit.
Oh, okay. Sorry. We're talking about intimacy.
Yeah. Hey, we have a good sex life.
At least I'm
Praise
trying
the
to
Lord.
be discreet. At least I use the word date.
So obviously he's like, we had a date, and then Jill's like, we had a bunch of dates. Okay. And then he's like, and then there was that one time we had 4 dates in one day. And then she's all like, whoa, that's TMI. And then 2 seconds later, she's all, we have a good sex life. Sometimes I feel like these fundies will go out of their way to remind you how much sex they have, how much front hugging they do on the bed. It's almost like an obsessiveness that happens to them in these marriages where they feel like they need everyone to know how much front hugging they're doing in their relationships. I'm not surprised that, you know, they once had 4 dates in one day. I mean, that's not uncommon in a lot of marriages when you're first getting together. And besides, they had just literally gotten married. If you remember, both of them had never kissed before they actually got married. And so I'm imagining those first few months of their marriage, they might have been front hugging a lot. Like maybe they didn't even get out of bed. Like maybe they just spent most of their day front hugging in bed because, you know, up until that point, they had been so repressed by their parents and told that they couldn't do any of that, you know, it's probably all they wanted to do. Can you blame them? I know I can't. Not to mention they were in their 20s. They had some time they had to make up for time. So when they're not reminding everyone about their amazing front hug life, they also spend some time talking about things that they learned from their parents, like how to spend money. They also talked about fish. So one of the things I think was interesting is that if you know anything about the Duggars, they're not the most adventurous eaters. Having so many kids, the family used to go shopping and they would like fill the house with groceries, right? And they would go to like the grocery store and they would buy just pallets of canned foods, whether it was like canned beans or canned vegetables or canned anything that they could have that would sit in their pantry that could be used and be stored for long periods of time. They didn't, and obviously canned food is cheaper than buying it frozen or fresh. So in order to save money, when you have 8,000 children, they ate a lot of canned foods, which sadly have a lot of sodium. They also loved pickles, and Evie Forsyth ate her first pickle over the weekend and loved it. So pickle indoctrination actually starts really, really young in the Duggars household. Pickles are amazing though, by the way. So when you think about how they ate tater tot hot dish, they ate out of cans. Jim Bob Duggar, if you know Jessa, in one of her videos last year, she talked about how her dad used to eat out of a can of vegetables. Like he would be so busy that, you know, for dinner, he would grab a can of corn and that would be his meal. Like imagine eating a cold can of corn. You're not even going to cook it and that's what you eat. So think of it this way. She goes from eating canned vegetables and, you know, all these like very basic meals, very, very plain, not a lot of, you know, excitement. And she's talking about with Derick what she ate as a child because they're about to go get sushi. Because by the way, you can pretty much be assured that the Duggars did not eat sushi when she was growing up. And Derick's like, well, you didn't really even eat fish when you grew up. And she's like, no, I ate fish sticks and tuna.
I liked vegetarian bowls. Like I like the
would you have just eaten a bunch of raw fish?
No. So see, this is something in marriage. You like balance each other out.
You had seafood though growing up. You had fish sticks.
Fish sticks. That was about the extent that I liked seafood. Fish sticks and canned tuna.
Fish sticks and tuna and sometimes salmon. Arkansas is in the middle of the Midwest. There's a lot of lakes, so they could have had panfish if they wanted. But again, fish tends to be a little bit more expensive, and so it's unlikely that they would have eaten a lot of fish. Fish sticks, frozen, are relatively cheap, made of like whitefish or cod that are typically like high volume fish, not super expensive. Tuna obviously is not an expensive fish, but these are not like, you know, eating sushi wrapped in seaweed with rice. So she did say that she doesn't eat raw fish, although I did notice that when she got her sushi that it had salmon in it. So I don't know if the salmon roll was for Derick or if she ate the salmon. I'm not sure. Not an adventurous eater, fish sticks and tuna. So going out for sushi was a humongous event. And then my other takeaway from this is that they went on this date for what appears to be hours because it took forever. It started when it was still light out to the time that it was dark out when they were getting their ice cream. And while they're getting their ice cream, Jill's like, gotta go to the restroom. And she's like, oh, that chai latte is really starting to hit me. And I don't know if she meant number 1 or number 2. And then like Derick is like seemingly taking his time.
So, trying to decide what we want at Andy's.
Stolen brownie Sunday.
And I think
they encourage theft.
My chai is hitting me. I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom soon. So good thing we're not far from home.
Good thing. Good way to end the day on the toilet. I mean, sorry. Okay. That was easy. You don't like snow ones.
Strawberry.
Strawberries? You don't like strawberries?
Yeah.
And chocolate, ooey gooey.
And she's like squirming the whole time while he nonchalantly tries to find something for her and him to share for ice cream. I'm pretty sure he was like doing this on purpose. She looked so uncomfortable. Next time, Derick, just pick something out, go order it. Your wife had to go to the bathroom. All right, so that's the extent of their progressive date. The kids did pretty well until the very end. I'm actually really surprised at how well behaved they were. They didn't yell or scream, or else they have it highly edited and seem to film and eat during the times when the kids weren't yelling and screaming. I'm not sure, but I was impressed with how well the kids did. It was also a fun idea in the COVID aspect. She felt really bad about how much money she was spending. Multiple times during this video, she was just like, you don't have to be able to spend money. If you can't spend money, you don't have to spend money. It's like, girl, don't justify it. Just have fun. It's not a big deal. Like, you got a salad and some sushi and a charcuterie board. It's not like you like went out for like a steak dinner, you know? But anyways, you can tell that she still struggles with spending. So what do you think about this whole 4 times a day and literally never being able to keep quiet about how much they do it? Do you think it's hilarious, or do you just like Derick and Jill, nobody cares? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Bye guys.